I'm Keano Smith, and this is Clutch Sports. Now, this past weekend was eventful. Obviously, we had some football. Obviously, we had some basketball. Two of the greatest sports to be ever invented. But let me tell you one thing. College football isn't happening right now. That hurts my heart. It might hurt yours, but I don't care. The NFL, National Football League, happened this weekend. Obviously, we had the conference championship games. We had 2 games and 4 teams. Well, let me tell you, 2 of those teams didn't even show up, and I was upset. The first game that we're going to talk about, the Chiefs versus the Ravens. AFC Conference Championship, a game to remember. Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, I'll say that. Lamar Jackson, not so much. Patrick Mahomes, 30 of 39 completion, so obviously that's over 50% completion rate for 241 yards and 1 touchdown. Well, let me tell you, Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce was doing a number for Patrick Mahomes. Isaiah Pacheco, 24 carries, 68 yards, 1 touchdown. I heard this thing on social media saying that he runs like he bites the ground. I think that's absolutely outrageous. But man, did they put on a show. Travis Kelce, 11 receptions for 116 yards and 1 touchdown. I will say that Taylor Swift was singing in that stadium because he played lights out. Patrick Mahomes threw every ball, every which way, and Travis Kelce, he came down with it. I was outraged. It was crazy. I can't believe the Chiefs could pull off something like that. I didn't even expect them to make it this far into the playoffs. Not the regular season. I do believe they were 14-5 on the season, something like that. And, well, they proved it this game. The Chiefs always come in clutch during the playoff times. Even if they weren't the first seed, the Ravens did not meet up to their expectations. But I am going to highlight Drew Tranquill. He was a leading tackler with 8. And let me tell you, he got a 1-year signed contract with Andy Reid. And you know what? That's what happens when you come on the Chiefs. And the next team that we're going to talk about is the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, a generational talent, obviously. But when you're throwing the ball and rushing the ball just as good as any other player on the field, you've got to be doing something right. 20 of 37. So obviously we know he's not that much of a passer, but he is a runner. But I will give him credit. From Louisville to the Baltimore Ravens, he has, in fact, become a passer. But this game, he was almost 40%. He was almost 50%. So I really can't say nothing. 272 yards. Really? 1 touchdown and 1 interception. I don't like that ratio, 1 touchdown to 1 interception. It ain't going to get the job done. And obviously Lamar Jackson chokes in big-time games. Now, I will say this, though. 8 carries for 54 yards, and he was the leading rusher. If you're rushing more than the running back, you need to be getting paid their salary, too. I can't. You run the ball and then pass the ball. So I'm gonna tell you this right here. Okay, he might as well just be a running back. Might as well be a running back, and that's the hot take. Moving on to Zay Flowers, he got a taunting penalty in this game, and well, once you start not being humble, you get not humbling expectations, and you get flags too. 5 receptions for 115 yards, 1 touchdown. So obviously he had a good game. 5 receptions ain't gonna get it done though. You got to be targeted more than that. I don't know his targets, but 115 yards, he did his job. So basically the Chiefs and the Ravens were a game. The Chiefs beat them 17-10, so the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. The Ravens obviously choked. Once again, the birds are clucking, but they got fried. I'm telling you, the butcher took off their legs, took off their beak. It's terrible. The butcher was butchering the animal so fast, he needed an inhaler just to catch up. But anyway, the 49ers versus the Lions. Now, this was the NFC Championship game. And, well, some people like the NFC. Me personally, I don't like it. Brock Purdy, 20 of 31. Close to 15%. But 267 yards, 1 touch. But let me tell you something about this game right here. Okay? When the Lions are up 24-7 at halftime, I'm telling you, if it was my book, I'd make it a happy ending. The Lions would be in the Super Bowl. The 49ers players would be in the whatever thing is called. I can't even remember it now. The Pro Bowl. Yeah, that's it. The Pro Bowl, right? they would be in the Pro Bowl. But no, the Lions did not do. The Lions became prey. That's what they did, right? Brock Purdy, like I said, 20 of 31, 267 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I don't know what it is with these quarterbacks these games, but all of them had 1 touchdown and 1 interception, or just 1 touchdown in general. Christian McCaffrey, I will say this, and I will say this again. He revived his career going with the 49ers. 20 carries, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And if you saw the way he was running in this game, you would think he'd be running away from the police. Now, Deebo Samuel, he was hurt, but to tell me how he was hurt one week, came back the next week, and then put up 8 receptions, 89 yards. He didn't have a touchdown, though, but I will say his cleat game is outrageous. Moving on to the Lions. Roar. Jared Goff. Guy who played for Los Angeles Rams with all those good players, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, and still couldn't get the job done. 25 of 41, 273 yards, 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown. You telling me you lead the Lions to 24-7, right? And at halftime, you come out of halftime and don't score not another point. What was that? I think they scored 1 more touchdown to get to 31 or something like that. I don't remember. This game was so terrible, I had to go to sleep just to calm my nerves, right? David Montgomery, 15 carries, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. Good running back. Good running back. I will say that. He's a good running back. He did his job. If he would have got over 100, it would have made his stat line look a little better. But you know what? Even if he would have got a good stat line, they still ain't going to the Super Bowl. Sam Laporta, 9 receptions for 97 yards, right? That's pretty average, especially for what they did. But sorry to Dan Campbell and the Lions, man. I know Barry Sanders is hurt. He was at that game too. But, man, you don't know the next time the Lions will ever be in that position with that team, right? But anyway, moving on from the NFL, right? We're going to talk about the Lakers, the NBA, National Basketball Association. And I will tell you one thing and one thing only. The Lakers lost another one. Put it in there, DJ Khaled, another one. They lost again. But this time, let me tell you, they lost to the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets took them and they flew out of the stadium. I didn't even know what they were doing. LeBron James, 23, 10, and 6. 23, 10, and 6. You got to get more points than that. To be the greatest player of all time, you got to get more than 23 points. And the Lakers are terrible. They're falling out of the play-in tournament. They ain't even in the standings at this point, for all I know. I'm paying for an NBA subscription just to see the Lakers lose on every other night. And they play tonight, too. AD. He turned into A Disney once again. 23, 2, and 7. If you're getting 7 rebounds as a power forward, as a center, you ought to be fired. Trade, fired, I don't care. You know it's bad when D'Angelo Russell is putting up more points than you. D'Angelo Russell had 23 points, 5 assists, and 1 rebound. You know it's bad when he does that. When you're outperforming the stars, you just know. So, obviously, the Lakers are trash. Their players are trash. Their stars aren't appearing in the space-time continuum anymore, as Flash would say it. And, well, they're ultimately trash. Garbage, I tell you. So, anyway, I'm Keano Smith. This is Clutch Sports, and just turn the camera off.